Hey folks, how y'all doing? Happy Tuesday to you. Trent Clark with Mallett Builders coming out. You've got a short show today, but we did want to tell you our specials, these hot specials we got going on right now. It's worth talking about, okay folks? So let's start this show off. So like every day, $500 discount to every day, military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people looking for a building, make sure you get the $500 discount. If you want to upgrade to the Signature or Elite Series, type in cash and you'll get $1,000 off your building, okay? Now, we've been talking about this. This is something new, not new, but our program, referral program. So we'll pay you $200 every lead that you send us and buys a building. If you do 10 of those, we'll ask you to pack your bag and come stay at our cabin at the ranch and leave Mallett to cook for you. You'll be able to catch fish and all that stuff. This is a post-frame building that we built. Nice, beautiful cabin on the inside, very comfortable to stay. Fish all in the pond and a great steak and we'll give you $200 every time you do it. So here's a couple of specials, folks. We're calling this the Cajun Oasis. This is an elite package. What that means is you get all the bells and whistles with this building. The cool feature about this building is that it's a 20 by 30 by 12 for only $29,999. Now, what you get in that building is everything that I'm going to go over with you in the elite package, but you're also going to get a basic electrical package in this deal. You're also going to get a air conditioned package, okay, in this deal. It's a 3-ton HVAC is included in this deal. This is worth $6,000. Just the basic electrical package is worth $6,000. The air conditioning unit, the 3-ton HVAC unit, is $7,500 value, folks. So all that is included in the price you see above at $29,999, the best building in the market, okay? So some other specials we got going on are the 30 by 50 by 12, or a 40 by 50 by 12, 14 or 16. 40 by 60 by 16 or 12. Reason why I'm throwing all those heights in there, because one option you get, like on a 30 by 50 for $43,998, or a 40 by 50 for $53,950, or a 40 by 60 for $61,598. Two options. You could pick the height. You got a 12, 14, or 16, which we normally charge you extra for, or you could pick what two roll-up doors you got, which cost us more, so we got to charge you more, okay? But you get to pick these options in this building, all right? One option is $3,000 value, and the other option is $7,000 value. So you get to pick on these specials, all right? We still have the Value Building Series. Remember, our Value Series building, our competitors, is better than our competitors' best building, okay? So, with that being said, let me go ahead and tell you, this is a 30 by 40 by 12 for $25,999. It's $21.67 a square foot. You got a 30 by 60 by 12 for $35,999. That's $19 a square foot, folks. Our Value Series is better than all of our competitors' best building. It's a fact, folks. Why? Because we're going to put scissor truss, 2x6 scissor truss in there. Our competitors just aren't going to do that. We're going to start off at the top with 2x12 headers, or your truss carrier. Our competitors just don't do that, folks. They're going to put you a 2x6 or a 2x8, okay? That's 2 parts better. We're going to use 26 gauge metal on this roof and wall. Our competitors are going to use 29 gauge. We're just better. We're going to have a cable retention system in that. Our competitors don't even know what that is and why that's so important. They're going to use a wire mesh in your concrete, okay, and no upload value at all on it. Our competitors are going to use 3,000 PSI concrete. We're going to use 4,000 PSI, which is 33% stronger than 3,000. We're also going to add microfiber in our concrete, which costs money per yard. That's going to add strength to the volume of that concrete. Okay, we don't have to put that mesh in and hope that it gets in the middle. We just don't do that. We don't like to guess we don't like to guess at that. We want to make sure that what we do, we are sure that it's going to be in the whole volume of the concrete. Okay, so folks, our competitors are not going to put concrete at the bottom of your post. We're going to do that. So that's just a few simple things that you can find in our spec sheet that we do different than our competitors. And that's why that our value building is way better than theirs. Okay, another value building we got is a 40 by 80 by 12 for $63,999. Okay, that's our value series. That's $19.99 a square foot. All right, let's look at the value. What are you getting the value? You're going to get 2x6 scissor truss, standard. You're going to get 4-on-12 roof pitch, 26 gauge metal on roof and walls, 1 roll-up door, 1 walk-through door. Engineered mono truss. If you add a wing to your one of these specials, you're going to get a mono truss, engineered mono truss. Remember, we are a licensed professional engineered firm here at Mallett. Our competitors can't say that. They're going to go out and get third-party people to sign off on your plans and or to consult with. We don't have to do that here at Mallett. We are a licensed professional engineer firm, okay? Another thing is our competitors are going to have to outsource their designs. We don't do that. We have designers in-house, okay? Another thing is our competitors are going to have to outsource buying their truss from somebody else. We just don't have to do that, folks. You might hear the hammering in the background on some of these shows. That's our truss manufacturing facility where we manufacture truss here, okay? We guard quality for all of our customers. We will soon be having, if you pass by, we have the roll form plant that we're fixing to start adding all the truss to. And then we'll wrap it in metal, and then we'll start being able to roll our own metal, okay? So that's the things that we like to do here at Mallett. Remember that this is 4-inch, 4,000 PSI on the value building. Our competitor gives you 3,000. That's a big difference. That's 33% stronger, okay? So right off the bat, if you can get a stronger building, why wouldn't you do it? Our competitors are not going to give you what we give you. 4-year workmanship warranty. Most of our competitors that's trying to build this building or saying they can build a Mallett building, they hadn't been in business for 2 years. I don't know where they can how they can say they can give you a 10-year workmanship warranty or a 4-year workmanship warranty for that matter. When you jump up to the signature series building, I mean, look, nobody does 2x8 scissor truss. We do here at Mallett. We're going to give you that in the signature building. You got a 5-on-12 roof pitch. Nobody does that, folks. They're not going to do it. The best they do is 4-on-12, okay? It's a fact. You get roof and wall insulation. You're still going to get the 4-inch, 4,000 PSI concrete. You get 2 10x10 roll-up doors on this one. You get 6-year workmanship warranty on the Signature Series. Everything else that the value building and the Signature building come with. Our competitors are not going to use 4x4s around windows and doors for extra stability. They're going to simply put a 2x6. We do that as well, but we back them up with 4x4s that are sunk in the ground. Okay, we go the extra mile here at Mallett for you, the customer. Okay, they're not going to do that. That's why they may say that they're a little cheaper than us. But when it boils down to it, folks, when you look at the fine print, they just don't put what we put in there, and they might not put. Most of the ones I've looked at are not fully treated buildings, meaning that they treat the lower part of the building and the higher part of the building is yellow wood. Be careful of that, folks. Okay, now when you get to the elite package, no other building in the country does what we do here. We're going to give you 2x8 scissor truss, 10-year workmanship warranty, 3-foot truss spacing, 9-foot post spacing. You're going to get that 5-on-12 roof pitch. When you see the difference on a 5-on-12 roof pitch, it's tremendous, folks. Our competitors ain't doing this. You get 2 10x10 roll-up doors, roof and wall insulation, gutters and gutter brushes on the elite package. Like I said, the elite package, you get all the bells and whistles. Gutters and gutter brushes are a $20 to $25 value linear foot around your building. You have to buy that after we leave. On an elite building, we throw it in for you. You get 6-inch concrete on the elite package. That's 2.5 times stronger than 4-inch. Okay, post protector, insulated windows, continuous ridge vents, wainscoting is free. And 145-mile-an-hour wind rating on our elite package. Now, folks, I want to talk to you today about a few things. Okay, so I can see that, you know, a lot of people are going to barn dominiums. Okay, they're taking these buildings and turning them into a barn dominium. I'm talking to you, those people today, folks. Let me tell you something. It makes no sense for you to go out there and pay somebody to design your building first. And let me tell you why. Because if you want to do a barn dominium, that is post frame construction. Okay, that's what we do here at Mallett, and that's what a lot of people do. But they might say they build pole barns, which is incorrect. Okay, post frame construction is a system designed off of post and frame, right? So you're sinking these posts in the ground. Now, the system is dedicated and it requires posts to be in the ground. Depending on where you live, you may need a certain wind load on your building. You may have to have your posts closer together in order to get that wind load. You may have to have your truss closer together in order to get that wind load, okay? The reason why I'm telling you this is because don't go spend your money on designing the inside of your barn dominium when you don't know what you need post-wise on the outside of your building. Because what typically needs to happen when you're building a barn dominium, okay, and we get a lot of these that come to us and they want to put a picture of a house that they have inside of a post frame construction. And we can do that, but the problem is you don't want to have to move a lot of posts, okay? Because like I spoke to you earlier, posts are the foundation of the strength of this business, the building, right? So think of it this way. Figure out what size you want, and let's look at the outside perimeter of that building. Let's say if it's a 2,400 square foot house or barn dominium that you're looking for. That's a 40 by 60 shop, okay, that you're going to turn into a house. You need to first identify what wind load you need in your area, and then we're going to give you a post layout. That's where the posts go in that building. Now you can take that post layout, now you can give it to somebody, and they need to design your doors and windows around those posts. That's very important because you can't move too many of these posts. You can on certain sides. You could put a beam. You can do a lot of things, but it's going to get costly. If you know up front where all these posts are, the system is very strong until you start altering it, okay? So keep that in mind for you barn dominium people out there that want to say, hey, I'm going to build me a shop house, okay? Understand this. You can do that by yourself, but there's a lot of things that if you're going to take on the role of being a self-contractor and do this, you need to make sure that you're in it. You need to make sure that you understand what all is going on in your project, okay? You can hire us here at Mallett Building to be your contractor. It's usually going to cost about 15% more than what your building is going to be or what your package is going to be, but we do that here. We can do that here. If you want to self-contract, make sure you get all your ducks in a row. A lot of people want to buy a building and self-contract it and build a house in it, and that's fine. What you do with it is your prerogative. We're going to build you the building that you want. I'm just simply educating you here today and letting you know that it's a post-frame system, post-frame construction system. You can't alter them posts much, folks. So get your post layout first, then build your home in accordance with your post. Move your windows and doors accordingly, okay? Now, another thing I want to speak about, same topic, is if you're getting, if you want to buy your own windows and your own doors, if you want to upgrade your doors and upgrade your windows, that's perfectly fine. We're going to do frame openings for you. In our contract, however, it states that once we start building a building, we'd like you to have your doors and windows there. Why? Because if you have a 36-inch door that's manufactured somewhere else, we need to know the framed opening, okay? It's not 36 inches, it's going to be more. And a lot of people say, well, 2 inches more. Well, when you're dealing with metal, you need to be a little bit more precise on that. When you're building stick frame or wood where you can cover that up with brick or trim, a fat trim, you could have a lot more play in there. But when you're dealing with metal, you need to be as precise as possible because you're only got a little J trim that goes around here. So you need to be real precise. So there's a few little nuggets of information out there for the Born-A-Minium people out there that just say to themselves, well, I'm just gonna pop up a building and put a Born-A-Minium in there. There's a little bit more to it than that, folks. Again, don't go out and purchase, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 house plan first before you get your post layout. That's very, very, very important. Too many people are doing that, and they're getting caught because you can't move too many of these posts. That is our system, okay? And if other people do it for you, you better be careful, okay? Because that is the foundation and the security of post frame construction. That's why post is in the first word of the post frame construction manual. Okay, so be sure that I wanted to throw that out there to you for all the Born-A-Minium people out there. That's going to be our show today. Let's go through real quick our specials one more time. We got the Cajun Oasis. That includes your basic electrical package and your 3-ton HVAC air conditioning. Okay, that's $29,999. That's a good little package on the water in your backyard if you want a little kind of like a little kitchen or a kitchen shop duo or, just a hangout place. This is a perfect little building for that. Okay, you got the Elite Series, you got a 30 by 50, a 40 by 50, and a 40 by 60. You get your choice of how high you want it or the size roll-up doors you want. Okay, so make sure you grab hold of that. This is a $7,000+ value we're throwing in on these buildings. The value building, you got 30 by 40 by 12 for $25,999. You got a 30 by 60 by 12 for $35,999. You got a 40 by 80 by 12 for $63,999, folks. That's $19.99 a square foot. Okay? Like I said, that's our show today.